Hey gang, just wanted to show you some of the things we're going to be using today for our seafood boil. We've got Alaskan king crab from Dutch Harbor. We got shrimp. We're also going to be putting in corn, red potatoes, and Johnsonville brats. And we'll show you how that works out later. But some of the seasoning we're using today, we're using Walker and Son Slap Ya Mama seafood boil. It's very hot, so you want to probably use that in moderation at first till you figure out what the mix is for you. We'll show what we use today. We also have the Zatarain's crawfish, shrimp, and crab boil bag that we'll have in there as well too. It's a good staple, a little bit more mild than the Slap Ya Mama. We also have the crab boil Louisiana fish fry products. And this is actually 16 ounces that we're going to use today for the crab boil, crab and shrimp boil. So we'll take a look at that. And at the same time, also you want to make sure you have good refreshments. Today we've got Bud Light on the menu. We also have a real refreshing drink, vodka, soda, and lemons. And who can go wrong with some Crown Royal? So hopefully you'll enjoy, and we'll be jumping in here real soon. I'm going to walk you through some of the equipment we have here. So we've got the obviously the propane tank in the background. Want to be real careful anytime we're using the propane tanks. Obviously you're using fire around this particular piece, so be real careful anytime using propane equipment. Make sure you don't have any leaks in the hoses, etc. I'm just walking you through right here. The burner assembly is actually a custom-made design from Joshua, Texas. So if you need a good welder that can build you a custom burner unit, we definitely can get somebody hooked up with you. Otherwise, any sporting goods store will have the flame plates or the hot plates that you can use. It just will take a little bit longer to get the water boiling. The other thing you're going to see here too is a 36 quart Pro Boil pot. And you want to make sure, we'll show you the water level in there as well too. Lance is going to pull the lid off, but you want to make sure you don't fill it all the way to the top, because you're going to have water displacement as you add ingredients. And it takes a little bit of time to get this thing boiling. So when you look at it, even with a custom rig like this, it's probably going to take you 20 to 25 minutes to get the water going to a full boil. But again, just make sure that all your pod and everything is clean. And you understand that you got plenty of beer, because it's going to take some time to get the water boiling. So we're going to drop in each one of the ingredients. I'll walk you through each one. First one's the Slap Your Mama mix. Again, this one is pretty spicy, so you want to make sure that you use it in moderation, understand what your limits are. But we used a cup in that. Next thing Lance is going to add is a full stick of butter. And he's also going to drop in a Zatarain's crab boil pack, so we'll let that in there and go. So in there we got the Slap Your Mama, 1 cup, the bag, boil bag, and a stick of butter. The next thing he's going to be putting in is Louisiana shellfish mix, and this is 16 ounces. You can buy it in smaller containers as well too, but we find the bigger the better. You can buy it bulk and get a little bit better price on it. The other piece too you're going to want to find is a good local beer. So we here in Texas are putting in a good Shiner Bock. It's a heavier beer. It's going to give it the shellfish some good flavor in there as well too. And the last thing we're going to be putting in is some distilled vinegar, just a little bit. And what it does is it really helps soften the shells up for the crab. So it's a little bit easier to cut through and a little bit easier to navigate when you're trying to eat it. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this boil now, probably for a half hour at least, to make sure that all the seasoning gets mixed up. So we'll see you here in a few. All right, gang, we're getting ready to, the seasoning mix is about ready. We've had it on the boil for about 30 plus minutes just to get all the seasoning mixed up. We just want to show you quick some of the stuff that we're doing tonight in the boil, and you can, substitute things as you wish in the recipe. It's not specifically for these particular pieces. So starting up top, we've got just some shrimp. We don't like the peel and eat, so we get them already peeled out of the shell, so they're already ready to go. Make sure you get those cleaned up and set. We're also doing Johnsonville brats. Make sure you get the regular Johnsonville brats. They make some different kinds, the hot, the beer brats, things like that. Just get the regular ones. What we've done here is we've actually cut them all in half. And the reason why we've done that is as we cook them, what we found is cutting them in half allows the brat to absorb the seasoning into it. And what we'll do is, and I'll walk you through this, one of the pieces is we'll boil these up, and then we're actually going to put them on the grill to brown them off to give them a little bit more of a visual appeal. We've got king crab legs. Here today we're doing 4 legs. King crab right now is very expensive. You can substitute snow crab, potentially opilio crab if you want, but we're using king crab. The other thing that we've done with these is actually cut the shells ahead of time, so it makes it a little bit easier to eat once it comes out of the boil. The other pieces we got are corn. We actually purchased the corn already pre-cut in the frozen food section. You can buy it fresh and cut it yourself. We're okay just buying it frozen. It's got the small ears that are already done. It's very easy to use. We also bought the mini reds potato. Very, very good. In a lot of cases you can buy them in the boil-in bag, which allows you to put the bag and potatoes into the mix, into the pot itself, so it makes it a little bit more convenient. So we're going to get ready to take this outside and put it into the pot here in a minute. All right, gang, so the first thing, you're actually going to cook this stuff in phases. And the, whoops, sorry about that. The first phase is we're going to do all of our vegetables. So we're going to do the corn and potatoes first. It's going to take a little bit longer for them to cook. The brats will go in second. And then what we'll do is we're going to peel all that out of the boil, and we'll put in the shellfish last. So we'll do the shrimp and the crab last. They don't take very long to cook, but we're going to throw these on and let them cook here for a bit, and we'll be back with you in just a sec. All right, gang, we're back with you. We've had the vegetables on for about 15 minutes, probably between 15 and 20 minutes. But, you know, the big thing here, I think, is just making sure that you get a larger serving spoon, pull one of the potatoes out, just see how soft it's getting to let you know whether it's going to be done. What we're going to do right now is we're actually going to add the brats in. These will be a little bit easier. As you can see in there already, the corn's getting close to being done. It's already starting to float. The brats will do the same thing. They'll get a real gray color. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull the vegetables and the brats out together. And then we'll brown off the brats and actually cook the shellfish, the shrimp and crab together, because it's a real short cook time. So we'll be back. All right, gang, we're back. We're ready to pull out the vegetables and the brats. If you can see in the pot right now, the corn is floating. The brats are actually floating. Lance is going to pull it out and show you. He's going to grab a potato here first. Fish that thing out. And just, you want to stick it with the knife and just make sure it's soft enough, and that definitely is done. So these are ready to come out. And you see the brats are actually, the casing is stretching out. It's pulling in the seasoning. And they're definitely got that gray tint, and they're floating on the top. So we're ready to pull this whole piece out. And you know, my advice is making sure that you've got, as you can see, Lance has got good leather gloves. Be safe. It's boiling water. Stuff's really hot. We're going to pull this out and get it separated out, and then we're going to take the brats over and brown them off on the grill, because we're about ready to put the shellfish on the boil here in a sec. All right, gang. So as you can see, we've spent some time just browning these off, and again, this is purely cosmetic. Just gives a little bit more of an appealing look, and then those gray nasty links you pulled out of the pot. Let me tell you what, gang, again, if you're a beer brat person, try this crab boil piece with these Johnsonvilles. They absorb it in. You can do a mix of green pepper, onion, and jalapenos, boil that in water and beer, and just have that ready to serve over the top of these as well too. But let me tell you what, these are pretty spectacular, and they look pretty darn good. So all right, gang, we're on the final stage. We've got the brats pulled out, the corn, potatoes are out. As you can see, Lance is going to put the shrimp in, so we're dropping that in. And we've got these gorgeous Alaskan king crab legs that are going to go in there as well too. Again, Alaskan king crab's a little expensive, so you might want to try this recipe out with shrimp first, or potentially get some snow crab and stuff like that just to try it out. Make sure the spice isn't too big for you, because we went pretty deep on the Slap Your Mama spice mix. But this stuff, what will happen is the shrimp and the crab, I mean, literally will be in for probably 4 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. But you'll see the shrimp float to the top, and they'll be ready to go. All right, gang, we're in the home stretch here, just getting ready to pull the shellfish off. If you take a look in there, you can actually, I don't know how easy it is to see on the video, you can see the shrimp are actually boiling up to the top. Definitely done. Crab legs are done. Again, we pre-cut the shells to make it easier to eat afterwards, as well as absorb more of the flavor and the spices in. And again, you can see the shrimp is all boiling up to the top, real nice here. So this is looking good. And again, this is our recipe, kind of our way of how we do it. There are different variations, but definitely we look forward to getting some feedback from you on if you liked it, if it worked for you, and if you actually have questions, feel free to email us, and we'll definitely do our best to get the answers for you. But right now, we got some food to eat, so stay well, and we'll talk to you soon.